Welcome race fans to another round of the MAXC Racing Series. This weekend we step out of the state and head over to Casey, Illinois to the Lincoln Trail Motorsports Complex. This weekend it's the Obermeyer Mid-America Challenge brought to you by Obermeyer Yamaha out of Jasper, Indiana. You can visit Obermeyer online at obyamaha.com or give them a shout at 866-YAMAHA-6. That's toll-free number 866-YAMAHA-6 for a full line of Yamaha parts, accessories, and pro service. Now, this weekend's action brings us to round 5 of the MAXC Racing Series. It was a 2-day event with the quads on Saturday, the bikes on Sunday. However, the first thing we're going to cover this weekend, track layout. Something we haven't seen on the tour yet this year, and that was a motocross track incorporated into the start of the cross-country track. It made for some killer action all weekend long. I think the MAXC Racing crew did a great job bringing a little bit of something to the course for every style of rider. Check this out. We got a chance to go on board with Jonathan Schaap early in the racing action as he battles back and forth with Donnie Ackerman. Look at this. Ackerman railing through the turns here. He goes on to take the win, holding off Schaap after a 6-lap race, and I'm telling you what, it was brutal. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Well, the first class to take a flag this weekend, as norm, the youth quad class kicked off early on Saturday. Couple stories certainly worth mentioning here this weekend. We'll have to start with the 90cc production quad class. Now, one heck of a battle between Corey Silverthorne and Charlie Welch. Charlie Welch out in front by just mere seconds in front of Silverthorne. Then Silverthorne takes the lead out in front of Welch. And just before the checkered flag flew, Charlie Welch regains that lead to take the win, but only by 20 seconds. Now in the 90cc stock quad class, Bryson Clark and Bryce Enright battle out and leave Bryson Clark on top with the win. In the 70cc quad class, Sadie Welch out of Greenwood, Indiana will take the win in that class. For the overalls, listen to this. In third place, Bryson Clark by only 18 seconds behind Corey Silverthorne, who is only 20 seconds behind Charlie Welch. That's how close the competition was this weekend in the youth quad class. The second class of the day, the C class, broken into its own race on Saturday. We had a little over 60 riders in all. It was the C 16 to 24 class that dominated, and those 3 riders in the 16 to 24 that finished on top also took the overalls. Austin Johnson finished in first. Josh Huxhold battled to hold on for second. John Mountford finished in third. Only 6 seconds between Johnson and Huxhold. Again, those 3 riders taking the overall. In the schoolboy class, Lee Smith edges out Jonas Stevens. Jake Hendershot takes third. And then other big finishes in the C class. The 25-plus, Travis Nicholson with a win. 30-plus, Matt Price. 40-plus, Lance Nunn. And your champion in the first-year D class, Cody Bosback out of Greensburg, Indiana. Now, the racing action would continue to Saturday afternoon, and the pro classes would certainly not disappoint. Donnie Ackerman goes on to take the win. Ryan Lane holds on for 8 laps, but Ackerman wouldn't let him pass. Top 3 finishers, Ackerman, Lane, then Jones in third. Bostock finishes up in fourth. Odell fifth. Other big stories in the PM quad class. Jordan Gilkerson out of Monrovia, Indiana, turns in 8 laps, 2 hours and 3 minutes on his clock, takes the win in the Open A class, but listen to this, finishes top 3 for the overall, right behind Ryan Lane and Donnie Ackerman. Another big story in the PM class, the B 21 to 29, Jake Stonebreaker out of Muncie, Indiana. He finishes in first place in the largest class of the day, 17 quads in all, but Stonebreaker not only wins that B to 21 to 29 class, he finishes 6th place overall for him. Congratulations to Stonebreaker. Well, as the racing action winds down on Saturday, we head out and come back early on Sunday to do it all over again. This time it's the youth bike class out on the course first thing with the Super Mini 85cc and 65cc classes. Now 50 riders in total take to the whole shots with Austin Lee and Mike Wachowski putting on one heck of a show once again. Austin Lee, Mike Wachowski will battle back and forth for 6 laps for Austin Lee to come in just 30 seconds in front of Mike Wachowski. Another big story in that Super Mini class, Zeb Bernati Granati comes out early in the Max Racing Series, round number 1, finishes way back in 9th place, wasn't happy with it. Talking to him after the racing action, he told me, I trained hard and I want to be on the podium. That's what he did. Granati finishes right behind Mikowski for a top 3 finish. Moving on to the 85cc class, Blake Ryan, Jarrett Stevenson, those two will battle back and forth, for Stevenson only to finish 6 seconds behind Ryan. Huge battle there in that class. In the 7 to 11 85cc class, it'll be Jarrett Moan with the big win. In the 65cc class, 20 riders in all. Here's your top 3. Caleb Hagan on top. Ben Stevenson finishes in 2nd. Colton Featherston in 3rd. After tweaking the track a little bit for our 50cc bikes, we turn them loose. In the 50cc auto-injected class, Easton Ward pulls a whole shot. He'll get out in front and win a brand new pair of Fly Racing Western Power Sports grips. Ethan Doherty will finish in 2nd place. On to the 50cc auto premix, Cale Klein will take the win. Garrett Mundy in 2nd place. Loudon Feltner will round out the top 3 spots. Well, it would appear that the weather would not be willing to cooperate, but it didn't look as if it was going to slow anything down. As the C-Bikes head down to the starting line, the 86cc to 200cc class, more than eager to pull a hole shot. Is one of those riders we're going to walk away with a brand new Western Power Sports Fly Racing helmet. After the 10-second signal, Isaac Hilburn pulls a hole shot. He'll grab the helmet. Mike Bukowski would go on to take 2nd place. Drake Lineback would take the win in the 86 to 200 class. Meanwhile, in the 201 to 250 class, Cole Orman would dominate out of Bloomfield, Indiana. He would also take 1st place in the overall. Now, one of our first-year riders, Sam Ray, would go on to take the win in his class, and he'll finish with a very impressive 4th place finish overall for him. Congratulations to Sam Ray. Well, after 2 full days of racing, we would finally be down to the 4th and final race on Sunday. The Pro Class, A and B combined, 130 riders, 2.5 hours, and it turned out to be 10 laps. Now, out in front in the Pro Class, it was Chris Bach and Adam Benair battling back and forth. Benair keeping Bach well in check. Chris Bach having some clutch problems early in the race certainly didn't help things out. It wasn't until the 10th and final lap when Bach comes around that he would finally close the deal. Chris Bach would finish in 1st, Adam Benair in 2nd, with Derek Allen in 3rd. Now the overall for the PM bike class would be Bach, Benair, Allen, Nathan Sullivan would finish in 4th, Steven Squire would finish in 5th. Other top names to mention, Zach Dodson and Kyler Vance would both win their classes. Both of those riders would finish well within the top 10. Also, Zach Love and Corey Marion would go on to finish 1st in their classes, also finishing towards the top of the pack in the overall here this weekend. Overall, great racing action. Again, the course catered to every style of rider, and we hope to be back here coming up in the 2012 Max Racing Series. Well, that'll wrap it up for this weekend's race report, brought to you once again by Obermeyer Yamaha. You can visit Obermeyer online at obyamaha.com or visit them down in Jasper, Indiana. We also want to say thanks to our 2011 Max Racing Series sponsors, Blingstar, Maxxis Tire, Fly Racing, TNT Motorsports, Park Motorsports, Indy Moto, Spider Graphics, Event Scoring Systems, and Jet Suspensions. So until round 6 of the Max Racing Series, hang in there and we'll see you next time. Be there.